There are devotees who crawls on their elbows and knees on the footsteps just to reach the temple.
Rishi Bhrigu, he hit on the chest of the Lord Vishnu.
He couldn't pay the debt of Kuber Maharaj. कभी सोचा नहीं था कि दर्शन हो जाएंगे. God sweats. No one knows that. Why? Today we are heading for a temple which is located in the middle of 7 hills.
It is one of the most divine places in India.
No one knows how Lord came there, but that mystery still continues.
To know further, continue with us in this divine journey.
Let's take you to a panoramic tour with Culture Quantum at Sri Venkateshwar Swami Temple, Tirumala.
Located in the heart of the Andhra Pradesh, Tirupati is like any other modern city at the very first glance. But then this city is like the old spiritual heaven of India. The starting point to Venkateshwar Temple Tirumala is Tirupati. And Tirupati is nestled in the 7 hills known as Sesachalam Hills. These hills cover 8,000 square kilometers, and these hills are one of the oldest rock strata of India, believed to be older than 500 million years.
These beautiful hills are crossed to reach the temple town of Tirumala. Tirumala holds a very sacred and important place in the hearts of more than 1 billion Hindus who are located in the nooks and corners of the world. Tirumala stands at a height of 2,500 feet from the sea level, and this is one of the most visited Hindu temples in the entire world. The journey towards Tirumala temple starts from the foothills of Tirupati. There are many ways to go there. One can take a 1-hour road trip from the Sesachalam hills. There are devotees who choose a tougher route, just like once a king chose to walk towards the temple on foot. One can take the Alipuri route, which is a 9-kilometer long route, and another route is Srivarimettu route. It's a 2-kilometer climb. There are footsteps, which are sometimes tough. It is believed that Lord Sri Vishnu took this route only when he came in search of Goddess Lakshmi to Tirumala. So let's start this beautiful journey through Alipuri route.
So before entering into the Raja Gopuram, the devotees are suggested to do the Sapta Go Pradakshina. And what is the Sapta Go Pradakshina? As per the legends, when the Lord Venkateshwar came on earth in search of the goddess Lakshmi, he was fed by the 7 cows in the anthill of this particular area. So it is said that before going ahead in this journey, one must do the Sapta Go Pradakshina. So the journey to the sacred and holy town of Tirumala starts with this Gopuram. And this is called as the Pratham Gopuram or Raja Gopuram. This Gopuram was created by Suluva Narasimha, who reigned in between 1456 to 1499. And this Gopuram, as you can see, it has been created in the Dravid style. It has many layers. You can see the 7 layers above the entrance, and apart from it, there are many such mythological figures which are depicted on the Gopuram. Similarly, you can also see on the Gopuram horseshoe-shaped designs are created.
The main theme of the mystic saint Annamacharya of the 15th century is devoted to Lord Venkateshwar, but the legends of Lord Venkateshwar dates back even further. To know and understand the mythological concept of Tridev, we need to refer to the Puranas, where Tridev means Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Brahma is the creator. Vishnu is the protector, and Mahesh, which means Shiva, he is the destroyer. The temple of Tirumala is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and according to the priests of the temple, Vishnu is the supreme energy, and Tridev, he is the single face of the three energies. According to the Puranas, Vishnu visited the earth many a times, sometimes in the form of animals and sometimes in the form of humans as well. And he stayed in Tirumala as Lord Venkateshwar Swami forever to protect the town Tirumala and the devotees who visits here. He is the Lord who is ensconced within the confines of the sanctum or Garbhagriha. You see these stairs painted with vermilion. What are these? These are just the wishes of people, and they do this while trekking towards the temple to get their wishes fulfilled, or sometimes they do this when the wishes are already fulfilled by the Lord Venkateshwar Swami. Every day around 60 to 70,000 devotees visits this temple, and on special occasions the count reaches more than 1 lakh. Each devotee visits here just to have a glance of his Lord Shri Venkateshwar Swami. All the devotees visiting Tirumala have a faith and a belief that all their hardships would be over after visiting this temple, and they also have a belief that all their wishes would be fulfilled after taking the darshan of Lord Srinivas.
So what is the legend behind the arrival of Lord Vishnu in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam? So as per one of the legend or story, it is said that once upon a time all the rishis, they wanted to dedicate a ritual to one of the god, and they decided that they will test the deities, that who is perfect for that particular ritual. For this particular purpose, Rishi Bhrigu was given the task of finding the deity. Rishi Bhrigu went to Indra, who was too busy with his apsaras and the music and the dance, and that's how Rishi Bhrigu did not like this thing, and then he cursed Lord Indra. Then he went to Lord Brahma, who was also busy with the composition of the Veda, creation of the universe. And then he went to Lord Shiva, who was busy in his meditation. Finally, Rishi Bhrigu ended at the place of the Lord Vishnu. And at this point of time, Lord Vishnu was sleeping on the Ses Nag. Goddess Lakshmi was in the feet of the Lord Vishnu. So looking at this scene, Rishi Bhrigu, he hit on the chest of the Lord Vishnu, and immediately Lord Vishnu wake up, and he immediately started touching the feet of the Lord Bhrigu, asking for the forgiveness, and he did a great service to the Rishi Bhrigu. So at this point of time, Rishi Bhrigu, now he was happy, and he decided and he conveyed to all the other rishis that the ritual must be dedicated to the Lord Vishnu. But then Goddess Lakshmi, who was sitting at the feet of the Lord Vishnu, did not felt good about it, and she fought with Lord Vishnu that it is she who lives in the chest of the Lord Vishnu, in the heart of the Lord Vishnu, and how Rishi Bhrigu hit on the chest, and then Lord Vishnu forgave him. So when Goddess Lakshmi was not happy with this incident, she decided that she will leave the abode of the Lord Vishnu, and she came to this particular planet Earth, and she came to a village called Karavira, where she started reciting and she started chanting the name of Lord Vishnu, but then without his notice. And actually, in the search of the goddess Mahalakshmi, Padmavati, Lord Vishnu came to the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, the Sesachalam hills.
Before Lord Vishnu came to Tirumala hills in search of goddess Lakshmi, the hills of Tirumala was already known as the abode of Lord Vishnu's Vara Avatar. As you can see, I'm standing in front of one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. This is Gali Gopuram. When you come from the Alipuri route, this is the center point where the devotees not only take a breath, but in fact they get themselves registered for the darshan as well. The tokenized system or the computerized system of giving the tokens for darshan, which has been a very good facility provided by Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, is really helpful for the devotees, and they take tokens from here and they take a breath as well. According to some legends, Lord Hanuman, in his youthful time, wanted to leave Tirumala and go in search of a camel. But his mother Anjana Mata, she never wanted him to leave Tirumala. So what she did, she just tied his hand and made him stand in a posture with his hand cuffed till the time she returns back. And Hanumanji, he waited for Anjana Mata till the time she returned back. Devotees often say, Sankat kate mite sab pira. But Hanumanji, Anjani Put Pavanasutta Namat, being a devoted son, he waited for his mother Anjana Mata to come back and untie his hands.
Now we are at the Mokalivitta Gopuram.
From here, God is just 2.5 kilometers.
The stairs taken to reach this particular Gopuram seems to be arduous, but there is a reward of getting the glimpse of the deity, that is Sri Venkateshwar Swami.
There are devotees who crawls on their elbows and knees on the footsteps just to reach the temple because they had a wish that if that wish gets granted or fulfilled by the Lord, they will walk to the temple like this. So this is the landmark junction of all the routes, whether you take Alipiri route or you come through the Seshachalam or the another footpath, but you will reach here only.
Finally, we have reached to the Tirumala town to get the glimpse of our Lord, that is Lord Venkateshwar.
भगवान की शरण में हम पहुंच गए.
We are in the premise of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, and now we are on the ambulatory passageway, which is open, and it is the external ambulatory passageway.
This is Mara Street, and the yearly festival, Brahmotsav, the yatras take place on this street only.
After Goddess Mahalakshmi left the abode of the Lord Vishnu, she came to the earth and then she started living in the village called Karavira. In search of Mahalakshmi, Lord Vishnu came to the Sesachalam hill and then he started residing in an anthill under a tamarind tree. And he was so sad and gloomy at this point of time, which made the entire world sad and gloomy. And his sadness was felt by Goddess Parvati and Goddess Saraswati. They requested to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to do something in this regard. And as such, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they incarnated in the form of the cow and the calf, and they started pouring their milk on that particular anthill to feed the Lord Vishnu. But then, this story is also connected to the Chola period. Since the cow and the calf, they were giving all the milk to Lord Vishnu and not to the cowherd. Cowherd was irritated by it, and one fine day, when he saw that the cow and the calf, they were giving the milk to Lord Vishnu, so irritated by this incident, he threw his axe on the cow. And when he threw the axe on the cow, Lord Vishnu came to the rescue of the cow, and then he gave a curse to the cowherd that the same axe will return back to you and you will be dead. And exactly same thing happened. After many days, the Chola king, in whose kingdom this incident has happened, was inquiring about the cowherd. So one fine day, Chola king, who has heard this news that cows are no more milking, he himself visited to see the young boy who was residing in the anthill of the Sesachalam hill. And when he saw the cows were giving milk to him, out of his anger, the Chola king, he strung his arrow and it hit the forehead of Lord Vishnu. Blood started pouring out from his head, and after this incident, Lord Vishnu gave a curse to the Chola king. He is not fulfilling his dharma and he will also meet the same fate. But then king realized his mistake and he fell on the feet of the Lord Vishnu. And he saw the Virat Swaroop of the Lord Vishnu. After it, when king has apologized to the Lord Vishnu, so Lord Vishnu gave him the forgiveness and asked him to follow his dharma. When king was further apologizing to the Lord Vishnu, and that is the time when Lord Vishnu said that in the next birth, he will take his daughter as one of his wife. So in the next birth, Lord Vishnu was born to the mother Vakula Mata, and she is regarded as the incarnation of the Mata Yashoda. Moreover, Lord Vishnu's name at this point of time in this birth was Srinivas. And moreover, the Chola king was now born as Raja Prakas, and he had a very beautiful daughter named as Padmavati. So Srinivas was a forest dweller, and Padmavati once sighted Srinivas and both fell in love with each other. So this love further went into the marriage scenario, and at this point of time when Srinivas has proposed the Chola king that he want to get married with the Padmavati, so the Chola king has demanded that how he will take care of the goddess Lakshmi, or goddess Lakshmi who was in the form of the Padmavati. So he demanded that he will have to collect huge amount of money before getting married. And that's where comes the story of the Kuber, from whom Lord Vishnu took large amount of money, and with an assurance that this money would be repaid in the Kali Yuga.
But Lord Vishnu, he couldn't pay the debt of Kuber Maharaj, and that is the reason he has to stay in Tirumala. And devotees, what they do, they offer the best offerings that they can offer to their Lord, so that he can be debt free. In fact, the offerings are offered to Lord not only from India, our neighboring countries as well as abroad, especially during the Brahmotsav Mahotsav. The flowers come from America, Singapore, and many other countries. Sri Venkateshwar Swami Temple is located in the heart of Tirumala. And some of the devotees, after reaching here, they directly head to Kalyan Katta. A special ritual is performed there. Entire town has a very distinctive sight of tonsured head. Tonsering is customary among some devotees, and some do it once their wishes are fulfilled. Tonsering your head is the symbolism of shedding your egos, and according to some legends, it is believed that how a child comes out of the womb. So in the similar way, when you go inside the Garbhagriha with tonsured head, which is also a womb, so each devotee should be like a child in his first form when he enters this life. No matter which route you take, everyone reaches to the one threshold, which is Sri Venkateshwar Swami Temple. And right now, I'm standing just in front of the temple.
So the premise where I'm standing, it is mini Kalyan Katta. There is one more Kalyan Katta which is a bigger one. So Kalyan Katta is the place where people get their heads tonsured, and some people, they get some of their hair cut over here. This is done to shed one's ego, and there is a story behind it that why people offer their hair to the deity.
So as you heard the story, that how the owner of the cow threw the axe on the cow just because he saw the cow mulching himself automatically on the ground. But when he threw the axe on the cow, what happened? Lord Tirupati, he came outside the ground to protect the cow, but while protecting, the axe hit his head and he lost few of the strands from the front. Saying this, Neela Devi, she plucked her hair and she fixed it on the spot from where Lord Tirupati Balaji's hair was gone. After seeing the devotion of Neela Devi, Lord Tirupati said that hair is the most beautiful jewel of any human, and if anyone comes to Tirupati Balaji and donates their hair, I will make their all the wishes fulfilled. And there is also one belief that if a devotee shaves its head or offers its hair to Lord Venkateshwar or Tirupati Balaji, then Goddess Lakshmi blesses them and gets rid them out of all the sins which they have done knowingly or unknowingly. We are going to take a holy dip in the Pushkaram. And this is the first ritual before entering the temple premise. Let's enter the Pushkaram. The main temple spans about 2.2 acres, which is 415 feet in height and 263 feet in width.
So let's have a look at what all structures are there inside the main temple. Though the temple premise is very big, but the main temple is created according to the Agama Shastras, and that's why even if the large number of the devotees are coming and TTD has vast resources to make the bigger premise, but then they don't do because they follow the Agama Shastras, which proscribes any alteration in the size of the main temple. So one enters into the main temple premise through the grand gopuram, which is in white color. As described earlier also, that many such gods from the Hindu mythology are depicted on it.
Devotees enter the main gate, marked by an ornate flag called the Dwaj Stambh. That's the first spot where you take blessings of the Lord.
Dwaj Stambh has 3 colors on the top, and it is completely golden in color.
The devotees see on their left the Ranganayika Mandapam, and on the right they have Ayana Mahal, which has mirrors which shows infinite images as well.
Moving ahead, there is a silver gateway which is called as Vendi Vakili, and after the silver gateway, there is a golden gateway which is known as Bangaru Vakili. So the main temple premise and the front visual that you see, it's actually totally gold in color, and different other deities are depicted on this entrance. So for example, you can cite the visual of the Lord Krishna doing the Kaliya Mardan. Apart from it, another speciality of the temple inside is that depiction of the lions and also the depiction of the different forms of the Lord Vishnu. Lion is the one animal which has been often depicted in the Tirupati temple. Other than any animal, lion is the most frequent in the Tirupati main premise. Thereafter we enter into the chambers which are the dark in nature. Entering through Bangaru Vakili is itself a very divine experience, and from here starts the journey to get a glimpse of the Lord Venkateshwar. And if you are lucky, so you can get the sight from the very beginning itself. Moreover, the chamber which is leading towards the Lord Vishnu and Lord Venkateshwar, that is basically narrowing when it comes closer to the Lord Vishnu. And moreover, it is believed to be the Garbhagriha is journey towards the embryo chamber, as the name itself suggests, embryo chamber Garbhagriha. And inside the Garbhagriha, the entire light and everything is not electricity, but it is actually natural diyas and the lamps through which the divine environment is created. One of the interesting things that you can cite inside the Garbhagriha or basically in the entire Tirumala temple premise is that Lord Vishnu's eyes are covered with white mask. So, on Thursdays, the mask is removed. It is believed that the eyes of the Lord Venkateshwar is smaller on Thursday, and the cosmic energy that it radiates is lesser on the Thursday. But on the other days, the cosmic energy is so high that it is not good for devotees or anybody to see into the eyes of the Lord Vishnu. And that's the reason that white mask is put on his eyes. The temple architecture has been shaped through many centuries, and there were many ruling dynasties involved with the temple architecture of the Venkateshwar Swami temple at Tirupati. So for example, the earliest temple was created by the Pallavas in the 9th century. The next phase was the Imperial Chola dynasty, who further contributed towards the temple art of the Tirumala. And lastly, it was the Vijayanagar kingdom which gave this present shape to the temple. So in today's time, the temple is managed by Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, which is the administrative body of the temple, and they are the one who take care of each and every aspect of the temple. Since it is believed here that Lord Venkateshwar has energy of all the 3 devatas, that is Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. There is interesting fact related to the worship of the Lord Vishnu over here. Earlier, before the 12th century AD, the Swayambhu Pratima of the Lord Venkateshwar, which means that the self-appeared Pratima of the Lord Vishnu, was worshipped as Lord Shiva for the 6th month and worshipped as Lord Vishnu for the 6th month. So there was no clarity between the devotees that what form they would be worshipping. It is at the end of the 11th century, Ramanujacharya, who established the Vaishnavite tradition at this place, and then the Lord Venkateshwar worship started from this particular century onwards.
I'm standing right in front of the Mada street, And this is a street on which the Brahmotsav festival takes place.
जराजन्महीनं परानन्दपीनं समाधानलीनं सदैवानवीनं जगज्जन्महेतुं सुरानीककेतुं त्रिलोकैकसेतुं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्.
It's a 9-day festival where Lord Venkateshwar Swami is worshipped. But it remains still a mystery that how Lord Venkateshwar Swami came to this place, Tirumala. No one knows that. In fact, the mystery is maintained in such a way that priests often say the hair of the Lord is also natural. The temperature of the Garbhagriha is maintained in such a way that it remains cool all the time, but still God sweats. No one knows that. Why? There is a ritual in which some uptan is applied on God's body, and when the priests take them off with the help of gel while taking out the uptan, on left side of the Lord's heart, an image of Goddess Lakshmi is visible. No one knows how it happens, but it happens. This is what is Sri Venkateshwar Swami's Mahima, and this is Tirumala, a temple town. So let me tell you about Brahmotsav. As I spoke earlier that it's a 9-day festival. It's a celebration inside the sanctum and outside on the street as well. Sri Malyappa Swami is the processional form of Lord Venkateshwar, and every day morning and evening he is taken out on the same street, this Mara street, where the procession and the Rath Yatra happens. All the family members, relatives and everyone, all the devotees gathers here and they celebrate this festival with a lot of happiness and devotion towards their Lord. In this 9-day procession, the 5th day is considered one of the most auspicious one, as Sri Malyappa Swami is installed on Gadura Vahan, and all the devotees, they come out on the Mara street just to pull the Rath for once, and this is once in a lifetime experience that everyone wants to witness, as well as they want to have a glimpse of their Lord Sri Venkateshwar Swami. The flowers used in this Brahmotsav is huge in quantity, and not only from India but from our neighboring countries as well as far west countries like America, Singapore. They all participate and they send flowers from their countries. Almost 35 tons of flowers are used every day over here, and in normal days the flowers weighs around 100 to 200 kgs. The entire Shobha Yatra in Brahmotsav is led by Jayars, and they are the one who every day in the morning and evening they open the temple, and with the priests, Jayars are also the one who cooperates in maintaining the purity of this place. In the entire procession of Shobha Yatra, in the Brahmotsav Mahotsav, which is a yearly festival of Sri Venkateshwar Swami's arrival in the town of Tirumala, the entire environment is breathtaking, as everywhere around the months are chanted through the students who are trained here in the institution Veda Pathshala. There are many forms of Lord Sri Venkateshwar Swami. Let me tell you one by one. Bhoga Srinivas, the statue of the Lord, is in silver, and he is a deity who is worshipped almost in all the rituals. Another form is Kolvu Srinivas. He is a form who takes in part of the rites and rituals of the temple as a symbol of Lord Sri Venkateshwar Swami. Ogre Srinivas, he is the symbol of anger of Lord Venkateshwar Swami. And the other form is Sri Malyappa Swami. He is the form of Lord Venkateshwar Swami, on whose both sides Bhudevi and Sri Devi goddesses are there. And he is the form who goes in the Shobha Yatra during the Brahmotsav festivals and in daily rituals of puja and archana of Lord Sri Venkateshwar Swami. He is taken out from the Garbhagriha. Matrusri Vengamamba Prasadam Complex. It is a place where every day all the devotees gets the prasad of Lord Sri Venkateshwar. Every day on a daily basis, 65 to 75,000 meals are prepared, and the kitchen functions for continuous 15 hours. And you would be amazed to know one thing, that all the ingredients, everything from vegetables to rice to all the masalas, everything which are used in the kitchen are sattvic and of highest quality. And as well as one more thing, all the things are offered from the devotee's side to the Lord Venkateshwar Swami And strangely, after the preparation, that reaches back to devotees itself. So this is a full circle in itself. There are 4 halls, and in each hall, there is a capacity of 1,000 people sitting at the same time. Almost around 4,000 people sit in the complex to have the Anna Prasad, and that is prepared in the same way how the laddus are prepared and offered to the deity in the name of Lord Shri Venkateshwar Swami. And during the Brahmotsav, the count of daily meals crosses from 1.25 lakh to 1.5 lakhs every day. Bound by the ancient text of Agma Shastra, the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam are not permitted to enhance the entrance of the Garbhagriha. So the devotees are allowed to enter in a queue, and there is a process which is 3 minutes in and 4 minutes out, and this continues for 2 times, and the third time it's like 3 minutes in and 5 minutes out, and this is how all the devotees enters the Garbhagriha and they take the darshan of their Lord Shri Venkateshwar Swami. The prasad which is made is very sattvic, and almost every day more than a lakh of coconuts are devoted to God, and all those coconuts are used in the prasadam kitchen. Devotees show their love towards Lord in the best possible way they can. They give the finest quality of flowers, fragrance, whether it's ornaments or anything. They make sure that whatever they are offering, it's their best to the Lord.
And everybody offers to the God according to their own capacity, which ranges from very humble to the very grand.
And every day, more than a lakhs of coconut are offered to the Lord by their devotees. And this is the center from where the Garbhagriha is visible.
And in front is the Mahamanda. And in line with the Mahamanda is the Garbhagriha.
And devotees give their bait to Lord from this place only. This is where coconuts are offered to the Lord.
And this is where devotees lit the diyas and burn the camphors to get their wishes fulfilled. Last but not the least, what is there in my hand? The divine Tirupati Laddu, which has GI tag, and it was registered in 2009. The ingredients used in this laddu are of high quality, which includes the gram flour, butter and ghee, and also the sweeteners. And these laddus are lab tasted. So you can be assured that the laddu that you are having, it's not only divine, but also it is one of the purest of the pure. On daily basis, 3 lakh laddus are rolled in the kitchen of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. Earlier there used to be only one kitchen for rolling out these laddus, but now there is a mechanical kitchen also, and the 2 kitchens combined, they fulfill the entire demand of the laddu of this particular place. Another very important fact to be noted down, that these all laddus, preparation is done in the mechanical kitchen, but then they are hand rolled in the main kitchen, and before it being offered to the devotees, it is first offered to the deity, Shri Lord Venkateshwar. So that's how this is blessed laddu, and this is sacred laddu. So I hope all of you must get the opportunity to have this divine Tirupati laddu. So this divine Tirupati laddu is also calling you, be here, just like the Team Culture Quantum had this laddu. May God bless you.
भगवान ने हमें दर्शन दिए, भगवान आपको भी दर्शन दे. One day I had a feel that let's go to Tirupati Balaji. कभी सोचा नहीं था कि दर्शन हो जाएंगे. In fact, the stories that we heard that बहुत भीड़ होती है, people have to wait for 4 days, people have to wait for 72 hours just to take the Lord's darshan. मेरा दिल बैठा जा रहा था, and still I never lose the hope to take the darshan. And finally, we got the darshan.
And it's a feeling which we cannot define in words. You yourself will have to come to this place to take the Bhavya Darshan of the Lord Venkateshwar Swami.
आज प्रभु से ये कल्चर क्वांटम की टीम आप सभी लोगों के लिए हाजिर लगा के जा रही है कि भगवान प्रभु आप सबको बुलाए और आप सबको अपनी दर्शन दे.
और आप सभी प्रभु के दर्शन से धन्य हो.
Till then, please stay tuned to our channel, Culture Quantum, and do not forget to like,
share,
subscribe,
comment,
and recommend our channel,
Culture
Quantum.
रमाकण्ठहारं श्रुतिव्रातसारं